Thanks for staying with us. So we're still discussing the NCCA and KWAM 1 and value jets, NCAA,
yes.
KWAM 1, value jets, all that happened, and giving our opinion. Mariam, you're going to go for it.
I thought someone was about to land the plane. Okay, so for me, I think, you know, the opinions that have been shared today were shared yesterday, but it's also good that Amaka gave us like a real life perspective. We had a caller that had called and explained to us also the overzealousness and just the almost lack of emotional intelligence of some of the workers at the airport. So we understood that, you know. But for me, we're dealing with this particular story right now. And this particular story, it ended up with KWAM 1 standing in front of an aircraft that was taxiing and actually walking backwards. He had to dodge it. So first of all, his safety was, you know, he put himself at risk. He put the aircraft and everybody on board at risk. And in any other country, he would have been arrested and locked up for, you know, for doing that, for putting all those lives at risk. And that's what I'm saying, that no matter who you are or how you feel, there are some things that you cannot do, especially when you're putting other lives, if you're putting your life and other people's lives at risk, and that is what he did. Secondly, because of who he is and the influence and his position in society, I expected a different sort of response. To be, to your story, I get it, how sometimes we are pushed to the wall and we act out of character, but we recognize that we have acted out of character. Do you understand? It doesn't make that act of character, like I was pushed, yes, I was pushed. It didn't make it right, but we understand why. And so that's why we sit down, we have investigations, and that is why NCAA can say to, given the investigation so far, NCAA fan, given the investigation so far, we have suspended the pilot and co-pilot and have also banned KWAM 1 for 6 months. This is an ongoing investigation. Everybody had a role to play in what happened, and everybody must bear the consequences of how they conducted themselves on the day that this happened.
All right, let me take this call. Frank has called into the show. Welcome to the show. Good morning, Frank.
Good morning.
Good morning.
House. Good morning, everybody.
Yes, good morning.
I really appreciate the topic of today. I'm a first-time caller, by the way.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you. I understand the fact that thank you. I understand the fact that things might happen. I understand it. I understand the fact that there might be some things that might have happened or any other way. But this is KWAM 1, for crying out loud. This is KWAM 1. Like Madam Nema said, I really want to agree with her. Maybe there was a spiritual aspect of it.
People have started Nigeria.
Seriously. Maybe there was a spiritual aspect of it. That was, as in, I was just thinking yesterday, seeing the video and everything, I was like, how can somebody stand in front of a plane, not even a car.
Stand in front of a plane.
Really? Not even a car, not a bus, not a truck, not a trailer. Really, this is something else.
Thank you so much, Frank, for your contribution. All of you, association of there's more to the story.
There's more.
So let me put a background to this. So KWAM 1, when he was burying his mom, had sort of dishonored the affairs he thought were overzealous. Yes, we agree. I personally agreed with him, because you see the way these affairs come. We don't longer do things by the sunnah of the prophet, following the traditions of the prophet. When they are doing naming now, affairs, because they're making money, they're making it bogus, expanding it. It's an akiko, it's supposed to be a naming. And I used to see follow my dad to some houses where we did naming. He's done in 30 minutes. He names the child, blesses the child, gets out. But the affairs that my first child's naming came in and divided my entire family, telling my in-laws that for me to insist on doing things by the sunnah was controlling of the family. A lot of people agreed with them that I was forcing my opinion on them just because they wanted to come and make money. And I said I will not stand, lie down for such a thing at my own event. My wedding, according to the sunnah, and my children's naming will be according to the sunnah. And so a lot of those affairs, you see their overzealousness. So at his mother's burial, He said one Ganusi, because all of them came to his house as opposed to go into the family house because of what they thought they would get. But then fast forward, we're here. It's possible because he could have done that correction also privately, and the Ganusi, he trended. Some of the affairs that came had to be appealed to in one way or the other. He didn't do it discreetly as would have been preferred. And so when we are watching this thing, we're seeing somebody of his status and caliber, is jumping in front of plane. Now the cartoon has started to come out with his cape on him. A lot of things that could have come from it. And he didn't have his thoughts well, because I believe the account of the NCAA that he was under the influence of alcohol. I believe that account because it is not possible in his right senses that he would do such a thing. He's a very well-exposed man. He has class. He has influence. It's also possible because videos have trended in the past that he has a relationship with the president, that, he flaunted that, in fact. It is because you have influence that you know how to step aside and say, okay, allow somebody think they are getting away with an abuse, because you have the key to the right door to report it. If such a thing was happening, you didn't have to engage. I can understand Amaka, because if Amaka will call president, it will take a while. But if you have the president's phone number, you don't know. You have the, I don't know, but he has fronted. When his mother died, he received a call which went viral from the president, and he called him by first name. So if the president and my uncle, for instance, he gets a go react to abuse. If you abuse him, I'll just pretend I don't know nobody to report you to. But they will hear from the authorities, because I know I have the direct line. Yeah.
If you are in your correct mind.
Yes, in your correct mind. Also, when you're flying business, there's a lounge where you're allowed to sit before you fly, which can let you escape with a lot of things that you can carry and fly. And so maybe you have gotten to the door with a flask that had alcohol in it. If you are not a rebellious citizen, it's to open cup and say, now water, if you taste them. It's to establish innocence.
Not as to
not as to confront, not as to appeal. So a lot of
you don't mention that again. We've forgotten that actually he was splashed
on the pilot.
Yes. So there must have been an argument prior to that incident. There must have been something, that provoked and increase their voices at the point of escalated everything. Thank you. That's the word I was looking for. Because you cannot open the cup, you cannot explain. You are beyond explaining when the treatment would have been given to every other passenger on that flight. Do you want to imagine that a cup of a we had the pilot, I think, which country was that? He was flying, he wasn't of the right mental health. He crashed the entire plane and took people's families and breadwinners. So you don't want to say because he is who he is, he will do no wrong and allow a flask you cannot establish the content of into the flight. So he's insistent on carrying that flask into the flight without establishing the content. For me, it's completely wrong.
He said it's
if
water.
Now acid, you go melt plane.
He said it's water.
Please, can I respond?
Yes,
because I want to respond to both Nima and Mara. So I want to start with a question. Nima, you just said on this table now that you made a flight because you didn't hear when they called the flight, right? But they were able to make that flight because they held the flight for Babalake, for somebody, for one person, right? What does that tell you? That means the protocols were not followed, that the flight that was supposed to leave and people were sitting there waiting, that's fun, or that most Nigeria, that airlines hold flights for people. Let us establish. I'm coming. I'm using that to establish a conversation. So that happens. So they take that initiative by themselves to keep all of us that we've paid customers waiting.
But can you establish that? I assume that. Because he came on the flight late.
Let me allow you to talk. Let me land.
But when you talk over each other, the audience does not hear.
Let me land. Then you can respond to me. Right? And then what you just said, I said that because we are not all equal, because some people are taking as parity
based on their
class or whatever, not even class of life, based on whatever who they are, right? Or who they know that they can hold down a flight for them to be able to board the flight. We know that happens in Nigeria, so let's keep that on one side.
If you don't agree with
then so the next thing I say that they said that investigation is being carried out. So we don't know for a fact whether, number one, there was alcohol, whether, number two, whether he was under influence. So we cannot sit down here and say categorically that we believe that he was under influence to have a conversation because it is alleged, because an investigation is being carried out. That's two. Then thirdly, it's also important. So then three, it's important for us to know that supervisors or managers or pilots, when it comes to events like this, should also be able to take initiative. Why am I saying this? Let me also give a story that just happened, that happened sometime this year, where this same airline, because it's as if that they're not being, my experience with them is of them being, their staff being rude, is that I was boarding this flight, and I didn't have any carry on. I just had a hand luggage, and when I got to check in, they asked me, "Do you have a carry on?" I said, "No, I just have my hand luggage." They tagged my hand luggage. When it was time to board, I went through the first people that took my card. The second people that set you, they saw that I was with my hand luggage, which was tagged, their airline tag was it, or there. And then I got to the foot of the plane to board, and I was told that they need to collect my hand luggage, right? And I'm wondering, like, I don't understand. Why do you want to collect my hand? I don't have a carry-on. This is all I have. And if they say no, that the plane is small, that they need to take away. And I said, okay, that I don't have a problem that you want to take my hand luggage, but you should have informed me from when I was checking it, so that I can lock I'm coming, so that I can take adequate care of my luggage. Yes, and lock my luggage to give it to, because this is the only thing I have. My laptop is there, my jewelry, I have sensitive things, like my money, there's money and everything in my bag. You see why they don't take initiative. What I expected, like, they knew they were going to do that. I expected their employees or their staff to stand at the foot of the plane with maybe nylon bags to hand to you to say, "Madam, anything that is important to you and everything, you can put it, you can open your suitcase, quickly put it," and it did not make any provisions for me. You want to take my luggage, and I'm trying to tell you that I don't have a padlock. Okay, can you give me a padlock or something so I can close? And you're telling me no, that then the pilot comes down without even asking me, "Madam, is there any problem? What's going on?" To not take initiative. He just said, "You're not going to get on this flight. I'm going to close the door." I felt bullied that day, and I hope he's one of the people that were suspended. I felt so bullied that day. Like, as I felt small and bullied, like, you didn't even ask me. So what I'm saying is not even making sense to you.
Please go ahead and take your call.
Same call.
Yeah, Sana's called in. Welcome to the show. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, my name is calling from Lagos.
We can hear you. You're live.
Yeah, my name is Azana, calling from Lagos.
Yes, go ahead with your contribution.
What Waswanje just is not right.
I was struggling to hear you. Can you speak up, please?
Yeah, what KWAM did is not right at all.
Okay.
It is not right at all. What he did was not right. They're supposed to investigate him very thoroughly, and even they're supposed to arrest him and keep him behind the bar.
Wow.
They're supposed to keep him behind the bar, because what Amaka was saying, that they should have first batch or a second batch. Did you know what he has done to them? He has bullied them. Maybe he has bullied them there. He always feel gallivanting. He always feel gallivanting. He always feel he's at top of the world. It is not. They need to use him as example to every other people. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
So
I want to
quickly.
I've been responding.
Please, I need to quickly respond to Amaka on this. So, number one, because when I got on that flight, not long after Wale Babalaki gets on the flight and is a mentor I have looked up to, I felt this flight was held because I was out of time already on that flight. That's one. The other one is that there's usually a disconnect. From Amaka's story, I can even tell the disconnect. People who are in the flight, the attendants and the pilots most likely are dealing with a different situation. And it happened on my value jet, this same value jet, from Abuja back to Lagos, the last time I was in Abuja. The handling, the sitting position, when you pick your flight seats and all of that, the handling, everything, I was like, the people outside and people inside, like, you people are two opposite people. So those are just doing like a ticketier at a bus station in Maza. That's the way it was. You get on the flight, and the ones on the flight are telling you as if you offended them to come in and demand certain things that you have been given outside the flight. So there's that disconnect. I agree with that. But even though you are privileged, I'm talking about how you, as a person, now carries that privilege with class. That's the only thing I have here. Because a lot of people are privileged and they benefit from those privileges, but they're classless about it. Classlessness is another issue. There's a way you carry it, nobody will know, and you wield it every time. We went to school with some children who were well-exposed children of generals. There's a way they carry themselves. They are not the regular what we call barracks children. But go ahead and take your call.
All right, welcome to the show. Good morning. Hello, Olushola.
Yeah, good morning, madam.
Good morning.
Hello, Olushola.
Oh, you're not listening to...
Good morning.
You can't listen to the TV, please. You need to listen to me on the phone directly.
Hello. Hello.
Sorry,
good morning.
let me hear from Ramatu.
Yeah, okay, so I wanted to answer Nima that, and Amaka that when you were complaining about the fact that the plane was held for somebody, there was one time the plane was held because of me. I was pregnant and I came to the airport late and the plane hadn't taken off. Immediately I got to where, we're supposed to board and everything, they told me that, that they're already getting ready to leave and everything. But when the guy saw my condition and everything, he allowed me, they took me and then they had to tell the pilot to hold on and they took me on. So sometimes there are people like us, they make exceptions.
Special people.
Yeah, some special stuff and everything. And I will say, I've looked at it, I was like, if the pilot didn't respond, will all these things happen? Will it happen? Do you understand? Like, if with everything that KWAM did and everything, if she did not respond to him, and maybe she was just like, yes, and she was just like, as he poured the water on her and everything, she just kept quiet, like, look at what he's doing, and then, just allowed everything, other people come take care of the response. Sorry?
No, her response is the plane now.
Is the driving off now? Yeah.
Without your passenger.
If all these things...
we don't know. We're believing that that's our response. When we are believing that's our response. Because we don't know. Because you don't start a plane. It's not car. It's impossible for you to just enter and just say, I am angry. Then you let me start the plane. It's not car.
They don't start. But she did not get clearance.
They didn't say that.
She did not get clearance.
It's online allegation. Let's take a break. When we return, we'll take a break because we need to be specific.
A lot of things can be concluded. Presumptions are part of law. You can presume certain things from actions and events that happen leading to it.
We'll take a break.
So we'll come back and we'll discuss.
When we return, we'll stick to the facts and mention our opinion.
Thank you.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your view will be right back.
Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. So, one of the things that I feel happened in this place, which we have all established, even the phone calls we've gotten based on experience, is that there is a gap in emotional intelligence of many Nigerian staff. The on-ground staff could have managed this situation and it will not de-escalate. Conflict resolution, it's important that whoever is a leader de-escalates the situation, but what we saw here wasn't properly managed. Even if you are dealing with someone who is being totally out of it, especially in this aviation sector, they are trained to learn how to professionally de-escalate the situation and ensure everybody is safe. We've had several situations where it is not being done. We also have had several situations, and I think both NCA as well as FANI to look into rude staff. We've all been abused, disrespected, and belittled on our journey to take a flight. It has happened everywhere. People just seem to take advantage of the power they have and say, you are not going to move. You are going to sit down here. I'm like, what did I say? I asked the question, and all of that. But we need to get better consequences for rude actions so that we can have more courteous people we are relating with. Because Amaka's story, the caller yesterday mentioned it as well. You tell me to take my the exact thing. Yes. You tell me to take my my hand luggage and check it in, and you don't give me any opportunity to secure my things or even open to sound take things out. And maybe I cannot even open it because of the way things are. It's really, really bad. And two wrongs don't make things right. And we know. So I wanted to really, that was my number one opinion, but let me take this call before I waste the person's. Welcome to the show. Good morning, Grandma.
Good morning, Tokwe. How are you today?
Very well, thank you.
Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Now, I'm glad that Nima is here today because Nima understands Yoruba more than all of you there. There's an adage that says, pride goes before fall. This so-called musician, I understand when people provoke you. But listen to me. There's another adage that says, if you are a so-called public figure, in quotes, no amount of provocation, intimidation, or anything should move you to do such a thing. This is the same musician. They almost called the president by his name the day the president called him to commiserate with him on his mother's death. I don't know him. I don't have anything to do with him. I don't know him. But Kini Kono, Kilode, you not do what you Kini. I don't all the nonsense surrounding this the scenario. It's uncalled. It was actually uncalled for. Kini. This is a man that called Alafa. These are Alafas that Obas and people do reverse. I don't know. Now. Let him take it easy. This is the kind of people the president is breeding. I don't understand you.
Thank you so much. Oh, sorry. I thought you were done. Thank you so much, Grandma, for your contribution. What she said was somebody that is wearing white would not, because when you wear white, many things that are about death would come close to you, and so you need to keep yourself straight. So, and that which is something we've all also mentioned, that when you are at that, there are levels where you get to that, more is expected from you, which is what she's insinuating. But
yes, I'd like to talk about. Finally, for me, it will be a conversation on conflict resolution. I think as Nigerians we have a problem with understanding that we have very poor conflict resolution skills.
Is that we fight?
On our flight back, some months back, Nigerians were fighting on the plane. Somebody was even about luggage, but these were just passengers screaming and shouting at each other. There have been several videos of just Nigerians doing that. I'm sure there are issues globally, but I'm talking to my people, Nigerians. We have a problem where we feel there's this thing, either you have a staff who does not understand how to be courteous, how to be professional, and then you have on the other side a Nigerian who is just upset, or who is high on their ego, or just plain disrespectful because they think you're not, at their level. We don't understand how, when there's a conflict, let's look for the solution, not how to show that I'm bigger than you. I'm going to win. We want to win each other.
No.
Who is the winning person this way? When I finished talking to him, he knew. When she finished him, he knew. That is the mentality we carry when we have a conflict. And it needs to be different. We need to understand that we have to, what's important is always to look for a solution. And when we put that at the back of our mind, a lot of these issues that escalate and become viral videos that traveling up and down will not happen. Just assume this person beside me is just another human being. We have an issue. How do we go forward? I've found myself in a situation where I just find myself argue with the person. I'm like, you know what? Like for me, I have little patience with that. I'm like, where are we headed with this? What do we want to achieve? If he has no, then I don't have any business being in that cycle of just arguing and arguing until somebody falls down or is almost knocked off by an aircraft.
Let me take a call. Aya, welcome to the show. Good morning. Hello, are you there? I think we lost the call.
Okay, so I wanted to say, on the value jet
let's take a few comments, please.
I flew on. So someone had excess luggage. And he brought them in as hand luggage. This example Amaka gave. So you're sitting on...
Amaka's story is totally different.
No. This example
Amaka was her own hand luggage.
I know what I'm linking.
You said exactly like Amaka's.
Stop interrupting me. I know what I'm linking. Can I land my points? So you get it. This example that you gave makes a lot of sense. I wanted to say that this person shouldn't have gone with about 3 hand luggages. He did. You're sitting on flight 6 something D. You know where your seat is. And you're supposed to put your hand luggage right above your seat. Yeah. And then they bring somebody else's seat and move you to the tail of your seat where you can't even see your hand luggage. So that's why the point I was trying to make, that if you could ask someone to give their hand luggage back to you to put in the cargo side, you can do it for somebody, but they were giving preferential treatment to this particular person, and I was watching, and I asked the lady, why can't my bag sit here? It's full. She said, we have to move. Well, do you mind? In a subtle, I felt, and then they moved my hand luggage off to where I can't even see it, which is wrong. The tickets were sold, seats were sold, luggage spaces on the flight were clearly stated. That's the point I wanted to make.
Okay, then let's take comments.
Okay, Ajay Baptist says, I beg, I repeat, the correct taste of a tea bag is not known until it is dipped in hot water. What is inside of you will come out. There's no way I will go in front of a plane or under, no matter what. Let's call a spade a spade. There's no excuse for that, no matter the craze. He is saying that he should be stripped of every title, blah, 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 chieftaincy, etc. And he says that it was the best opportunity to teach people class. He also alluded to the Wole Soyinka's story. I remember we actually argued that story at the table where Professor Wole Soyinka was sitting on someone's seat, and someone much younger saw him and said, "Sir, you're sitting on my seat," and he got up. And we argued, we talked about it at the table, saying he didn't give Wole Soyinka the respect of his age and his personality. He should have just let him sit on that seat. And, and he was saying that even Wole Soyinka recognized, even with his age and, whatever it is that and his influence, he still got up. You are an elder, because I said it yesterday, you're an elder. Yes, you deserve respect, but also there's a way that you can give respect as well.
Totally. Okay, so let me take Hassan from Lekki, then I'll come to you. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Nima and Amaka, you are welcome on board.
The lawyers.
You were not here yesterday. Thank you, you are welcome on board.
Thank you.
Please, you see, two good heads are better than one.
Sure.
And we can only think alike when we don't think so much. But one thing is very clear here. Yesterday, I made a point. It was two ways. One, about the demonstration of high sense of absurdity by KWAM. I stood by it. And secondly, by overzealousness of the airport workers, which is known to everybody. Not only airport workers, even banks and other areas, and other bureaucracies. We need, you understand? Amaka, I agree with you that how did they allow him to escape many reads? Because there are many checks in the airport. Then they now put to embarrass him at the point of entrance. I agree with you on that. Somebody failed to do his job, and there should be what they call reprimand about it. I agree with you. You understand? Don't worry. You see, these airport workers, they have their problem. So somebody can decide to embarrass you. And it applies to many bureaucracies. People should stop arguing. And I also agree with you that there should be training and retraining on how to handle things. When you are dealing with public, you just have to go very well deep in emotion so that you don't offend many people. But for KWAM, what he did is very, very wrong of him. You don't do that. Because it has to do things about life and death. You see this aircraft you are seeing, immediately you are airborne, you are no longer anybody again. And anything can happen to you. So the safety in the airport and the conduct of people, because two wrongs can never make a right.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Hassan, for your contribution. She was going to
so the comment I wanted to make is not far from what Oga Hassan has just said. He said this will have been averted, that clearly there's something wrong with the aviation industry, because this was, they were now referring to Oshomole's case. You know, there was something like that happened some months ago with Oshomole when he got to the airport. Yes, when he got to the airport. So there's clearly something wrong. So they need to fix that customer.
They need to review the
their customer interface and all.
Final comments.
Okay, final comments. I'm going to end with a question. So I don't know what the rules are when an aircraft wants to take off, but from my own layman's point of view, I believe that when an aircraft has been cleared to take off, that everybody people leave, the runway is clear, and people are not there. From what I can see, there are over 10, apart from the KWAM one that was in front of the aircraft, there are more than 10 people around the aircraft and even in front of the aircraft when this pilot moved that aircraft. So my question is that normal? Is that normal?
They will investigate it and then we'll
yes, because if everybody was out of the runway, it was only KWAM one, then maybe I would have had a problem with that.
So maybe
we'll await the investigation. The investigation is ongoing. Let me take this call. Welcome to the show. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Tope.
Good morning.
And
Akola is calling from Abuja.
Yeah. Please, my question is out of context in the sense that it doesn't have to do with the topic you are discussing.
Oh, okay.
There's something I saw on net that is going around. I don't know how far it's true, but has Morai resigned from TVC?
There's an official statement from TVC with the letterhead stating that. Yes. So it's a fact. That's all we can take on this segment of the show. We'll take a break, and when we come back, we'll continue with the show. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.